The original deadline for NIN SIM registration was supposed to be last year, December 2020. But somehow it was shifted, and it has now been shifted 3 times. And the new deadline is now May 6, 2021. The question is, who is responsible for this? Who has been able to put pressure on the federal government for them to extend the name SIM registration deadline? Meet a legal practitioner of repute who is always at the forefront in fighting the plight of Nigerians, a human rights lawyer, Barrister Monday Ubani. Barrister Monday Ubani, many thanks for having us today.
Thank you, Nikki. Thank you for having me.
Barrister, recently, precisely April 1st, the deadline was extended by 1 month without recourse to the court ruling you secured. What would be your reaction to this and to the fact that the NCC has also denied ever been served?
Yes, thank you once again for having me. What prompted my going to court was the deadline you mentioned that was announced sometime in December last year, asking that Nigerians who have already had their SIM cards to be deactivated by the network providers by virtue of the fact that they are not linked to NIN. My initial reaction was, NIN? Was there such a requirement when Nigerians were registering their SIM card? There was no such requirement. Rather, you were asked to provide certain biometrics, biodata about your personality, and you did. And so if there was no requirement of NIN when you were registered, it would be wrong for the government at this juncture to now make it a condition precedent and then you will be deactivated. So I felt that that would clearly be a violation of the rights of citizens, not myself as a Nigerian. So what I did was to institute a civil case to enforce my fundamental human right on the issue of free speech, issue of ownership of property, which by virtue of that deactivation I will lose my property, and then the issue of trade to life, because they are asking people to now to cluster, and that ultimatum will lead to people all congregating in a very clustered environment, all in a bid to get registered, and that will also affect me, who is a citizen who desired to register. So I felt that the ultimatum was clearly unnecessary, and we bring what we call untold hardship on myself and fellow citizens. So I went to court and I asked the court to ask the government, in the light of the fact that we are in support of this NIN, they should extend the time within which this particular exercise should be carried out, maybe a year, or any time that the court feels should be appropriate enough. So I had that case served, all the papers, court processes were served on all the parties, the Attorney General, the Minister for Communication and Digital Economy, NCC, and even all the other parties there. So the other parties did not put any appearance except NCC. NCC got a lawyer who came and represented them, and they raised an objection that, one, I have no locus, then secondly that I didn't give pre-action notice and all that. So I responded to all that and told the court that in matters of fundamental human rights, I don't need to give any pre-action notice. And secondly, I have locus. I'm a SIM card holder, and then I will be affected by this particular ultimatum.
There's so many questions begging for answer in this name SIM registration. A part of which is what will happen to children of a deceased parent who are in possession of the SIM without BVN and a SIM used for their deceased parents, bearing in mind that this is the only number financial institution using, sending them SMS and communicating with them.
So these are questions you should be able to go to these people in the commission and ask them, what is all this? How are you rushing this process without taking into cognizance some of the logistics, problem you encounter, some of the problem that will crop up later, and then even the economic loss? Are you going to go and deactivate 100 million Nigerians? There are those who have their father's phone numbers and mother's phone numbers they're using, that most transaction, economic, financial, banking transaction are known to those numbers, and those people are dead. So are you going to go ahead and deactivate those numbers, and then these people will not be receiving those vital information that will help them in life? Are you going to do that?
What happens to Nigerians in diaspora
Yes.
also who roam their numbers?
Yes.
How will they meet up with the registration?
Yeah, we don't even know here, get to know whether those people are also taken into consideration. Most of them who are sending all the millions of dollars into our economy, they all have Nigerian numbers. And they use that Nigerian number for most of their transactions. That's how they get their alert. Most people don't have accounts.
Exactly.
They have account in Nigerian banks. They receive alert when they do any financial transaction. So are you taking into cognizance their interest? Are you going to get them registered? And what is the process? You have not made an announcement. Every day you keep on fooling yourself with this issue of, I'm giving extension for 1 day, I'm giving extension for 2 days and all that, making a mockery of this issue of extension. Why don't you sit down, holistically look at it? Don't make yourself run a childish government, because to me it looks so childish.
I mean,
after May 6 again you extend and all that. Doesn't it make you look childish?
One is even wondering why they want to put an end to the registration.
Beautiful.
If you call it nil,
Yeah.
Is it going to be that it's going to expire like the passport and what have you?
Yeah. These are questions we should try and get the people in NIMC, to come and answer, and get the minister himself who is driving this ultimatum to come and answer. Are you saying that this is one-off registration, that is not going to be a continuous exercise? Those who are born later, who eventually graduate and become 18 and all that, you mean they will not get registered and all that? So they don't even know what they're doing. It's obvious that this is not well thought out. And I think that, to me, it should be a continuous exercise. And I think that they should diversify the process too. It's not only one agency doing this. They can, consign it, give it to, sublet it to other, agencies that will all harmonize and get this in sorted out. In my village, I just came back from the village. A lot of those old men and women who have numbers, don't even have a place where they will go and register. I'm telling you, if you go to the local government areas, if you see the crowd that comes there, is it those women, old men and women that will stand up for those hours? We see people stand up in order to get registered. So they should take that into cognizance and really expand the time and also expand the process. Get more people involved in the registration process and then ease the hardship that currently pervades the system. That's my own take. For now, the way they are going about it, it's clearly wrong. It's illegal. I even hear that JAM now is now making it a safe one for you to write JAM. There is no such law backing JAM for that. The law setting up JAM tells you what qualifies you to write for JAM. NIN is not a requirement. I'm saying that if there is any JAM student that is going to be denied the opportunity of writing JAM, should also start an action in court immediately in order to stop the registrar of JAM from implementing that policy that has no backing in law. I'm very happy that INEC has come up to say no, it has nothing to do with NIN. You have your NIN, yes, it is part of the requirement for you to have identity, but not a requirement for you to actually be voted for.
And that brings me to the latest news where the federal government says those who fail to register will be jailed.
That statement, he has withdrawn it. He has recanted and said he didn't say such a thing. There is no such law. That law will only be into effect when you have registered with NIN, and they probably fail to disclose that in any of your transactions. Not when you have not registered. Nobody can take you to jail. If you now jail 120 million Nigerians,
where would you even put them?
So
that is again, laughable.
That's clearly laughable and a childish threat. It can't happen. I'm sure he was misquoted according to him because he recanted. But we saw him on video. He was saying it with so much gusto and so much power. But when he probably got home or got to his office, his lawyers must have told him that is not the law. He now said that he was misquoted. So I want this government, and I'm still appealing to them concerning this NIN registration. It's a very good idea, very lofty, very laudable. We all approve of it, and we all encourage government to do that. It's even coming late, but let's do it in a manner that other nations have actually, the way they have done it, and then get all Nigerians. It should be for Nigerians, so that we can have accurate biodata and biometrics of everyone in the country. So if you commit a crime, you can easily be traced. You can easily be traced. In Nigeria today, you can commit crime in Nigeria and then miss in Ikeja, stay in Ikeja for me, nobody will ever trace you. But that can happen in all these developed nations. Wherever you are, if you still in Chicago and go to New York, the system will pull you out. So let's have it. It's something laudable, but let's not impose hardship in the process.
All right, Barrister, many
Thank you.
thanks
Thank you. I
for
appreciate
having
it.
us.
I appreciate
Oh, well, I have been speaking with the former Vice President of the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, and you've heard all that he has to say. He's given advice to the federal government on how to ensure that all Nigerians are registered. And in case you're wondering, the essence of the NIN SIM registration is to identify users, including criminals, to protect Nigerians from criminals using telecom facility to perpetrate all forms of fraudulent acts as internet fraud, kidnapping, and also collection of ransom, banditry, and terrorism. Adenike Ajiboye.
Here is good news for those who love to shop online. Do you know that you can shop globally online and pick up your purchases locally in Nigeria or get it delivered to you at your home? All you need to do is visit www.freaky.com. At freaky.com, that is what we know how to do best. For more information, send us email at info@freaky.com or visit our website www.freaky.com. Freaky.com, connecting Africa to the global markets.